Good morning, guys. We are getting ready to make blueberry biscuits with shrimp and grits for breakfast. This is a full recipe. I will be using measurements and discussing measurements. Well, not discussing measurements, but I'll be saying the measurements as I do. So watch and listen as I do and not just what I do. All right, let's get started. All right, for these blueberry biscuits, we want 1.5 cups of flour. That's what we're doing right now. That's one. And then we have our half cup right here. 1.5 cups of flour. I'm sorry, y'all. That's actually 2.5 cups. So we need one more cup of flour. Look, I'm still postpartum, guys, so don't be mad at me in my memory. So we're gonna get this right now. 2.5 cups of flour. So we just needed one more cup because we have 1.5. All right, here we have our sugar. Next, we're gonna put in 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. So this is 1 tablespoon, and then this is a half tablespoon of sugar. There you go. All right, here we have our baking powder. We need 1 tablespoon of baking powder. One tablespoon of baking powder. Okay, next we need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Sorry, y'all, I thought I had my measuring spoon, but I didn't. So right here, this is half a teaspoon, but we need 1 whole teaspoon. Alright, so that gave us our 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Okay, now we're going to mix up all our dry ingredients because the last thing we're going to add is our buttermilk. We need 2 cups of buttermilk. So when I'm done mixing this, we're going to put in 2 cups of buttermilk. And guys, every time you see me use this red bowl, it's a red heart. I absolutely love this bowl. I don't know why, I just do. It came from Dollar Tree, so I don't know why I love it, but I do. It has no particular monetary value to it, but y'all, I love this bowl. So just know, whenever I cook with this bowl, the food is made with love. Wholesome love. Okay, now back to what we were doing. We need 2 cups of buttermilk. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're going to start off with 1 cup of buttermilk first. And then we'll add our 2nd cup once we mix this up first. Okay, we're about to mix it. We want the batter to be kind of sticky. So if it's not sticky, after mixing this 1st cup of buttermilk in, then we're going to add our 2nd cup. We need this to be nice and sticky first. Sorry about the mess, y'all, but you're not really cooking if you ain't making no mess. We cooking clean, but we not done messing around with this batter and flour. So when we move on to the next thing, we'll get all this stuff. Just continue focusing on your buttermilk flour, or as I should say, your now biscuit dough. We're going to add in another cup of buttermilk right now. Alright, that'll do it. That'll do it, y'all. Don't overdo it. Easy does it. I don't know where that came from. I just feel like saying it. I feel like silence for too long during a recipe video, it's not all that fun. While I'm doing this, I just want to take a brief moment to tell you guys thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for supporting this channel. And thank you just for being a part of my journey every step of the way. Every step of the way. Okay. Alright, the batter is where we need it to be for our biscuits. Okay, so let's add in the blueberries. We're going to add in a couple blueberries. And we're having blueberry biscuits. And I like to, well, I've never made blueberry biscuits before, but I don't like wasting fruit. So the kids been gone over the weekend. So that's already a couple days they have not been eating. I don't eat blueberries all the time, so I don't really like it plain. I like it when it's cooked in things like such as pie, or I'm sure I'm gonna love these biscuits because they're good. But yeah, I don't really, you know, just eat them straight how they are out the container from the grocery store to home. I just don't do it. The kids do. So we're gonna use these up and cook them any kind of way we can to get rid of them so they're not wasted. I hate wasting food. Alright, and this is our blueberry biscuit dough. Okay, this is our baking dish that we have right here that we're going to be using. I don't actually know what size it is, but if you have a 9x9, you can use the 9x9 baking dish, but I think this is an 8x9 or 8x8. I'm not quite sure. So we're going to take our cooking spray, spray it into the pan, spray it on your hands. We'll just rub that. Spray it on your hands. And we're going to take a half stick of melted salted butter. This is salted, guys. And we're just going to pour it in the bottom of our baking dish. Again, only a half cup, which is 1 cup of melted salted butter. So we're going to take our biscuits and we're going to plop this bad baby on down in there. This is going to be so delicious, guys. Okay, now we have our oil hands. We're going to fit this and mush it around and smooth it out in here. Like, you're not cooking if you don't cook with your hands. You're not really cooking if you do not cook with your hands. Like I told you, I cook with love. Oof. I ain't kind of played it this morning. I did not kind of play with y'all. We really about to make a really good breakfast. And by the way, breakfast is my favorite time of the day. I love breakfast. I cannot go a day without eating breakfast. So I take pride in cooking breakfast. I really take pride in anything that I make, but definitely cooking breakfast is one of those things. I love breakfast. Alright, now that that's nice and down in there, we're going to wash our hands and We're gonna cut this into nines. Okay, this is what our dough is looking like. So we're gonna take a knife and to cut this into 9 squares. So it's 3 rows across the top and then 3 rows across the bottom. This will help separate them. Once it's cool, it'll already be pre-cut. So you could just enjoy, just dig in and enjoy. We're gonna put this in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. And as it's cooking, we wanna go in and rotate the baking dish once during cooking. So I'd say the first 15 minutes, go in and turn your dish and close the oven back up. And let this cook for at least 25-30 minutes. There you go. Trust the process, guys. Trust the process. All right, next we're gonna start our grits. This is what we're using, quick 5-minute grits. And we're going to, I'm not cooking for that many people, so we're going to use 4 cups of water to start these grits off. All right, y'all, I have 2 cups of water in there. So we're gonna put another 2. I'm using the same pot that I used to melt the butter. It wasn't nothing but butter. A little butter not gonna hurt nobody. So there we go. We got our 4 cups of water. We're gonna let this boil. And then we're gonna add our grits. When this is boiling, then we're gonna cover it. Basically follow the directions on the back of your grits container. This is what I'm doing. Alright, so now we're going to do 1 cup of grits because we got 4 cups of water. Pour it in.
You don't love me, just gone somewhere.
Okay, so now I'm going to whisk it in so we don't have any clumps. I'm going to turn it down very low. After this is mixed thoroughly or completely dissolve the clumps, I'm going to put a lid on it and let it simmer for 7 minutes. Alright, I think we got all the clumps out. So now I'm going to put a lid on it. I already turned it down very low to simmer, and we're going to let it go for 7 minutes covered. Alright, so we have our colossal shrimp peeled and deveined with the tail on. So I already have my bag right here that's thawed. I'm going to season this with some Old Bay, and then we're going to start cooking this over in a skillet with a little bit of butter. Don't matter what butter you use, margarine, Land O'Lakes. I can't believe it's not butter. It don't matter what you use, just use butter. I'm using unsalted butter. Don't forget to check on y'all grits, y'all, because these grits over here are getting thicker than me. I don't know how I feel about that. They's cooking fast. So I turned it down even lower. So we're going to see how this goes. It's already getting thick. Alright, I feel like this needs a little bit longer. Alright, we're about to put our colossal shrimp in. About to saute these babies up for a couple minutes. We all know shrimp don't take long to cook, so don't overdo it to where these get rubbery. Just a few minutes. When they turn pink and curl up like a sea, you know to take them off. I hit it with some Old Bay seasoning until I heard my ancestors whispering in my ear. So for this, season to your taste.
You fat,
Okay, we gonna flip these over. These almost done. Once these cook for a couple minutes on this side, then they're good to come off. Cause you already see they are curled and folded like the sea. So we're just gonna give this side at least 1 to 2 minutes. If you leave them on too long, you're gonna wonder why you chewing rubber. Okay, the shrimp done, y'all. We about to take it off now. Here I just added some salt and butter. Next I'm gonna add some pepper in and the rest of our seasoned seafood butter. Basically the butter that we use the shrimp, we're gonna pour it into the grits and stir. This is the part where you wanna add your shrimp butter to the grits. Okay, now we're gonna mix our shrimp butter in here with the Old Bay seasoning, our salt and pepper, and a little pat of regular butter. We're gonna mix all this together. All right, our blueberry biscuits are done. This is what it's looking like. All right, and this is the finished results. Shrimp, cheese, grits, and our homemade blueberry bagels. I mean, not blueberry bagels, biscuits.